Hello, everybody. It's Friday, November 7th. And I had mentioned getting on here to give an update. I know I haven't been on in a while, but it's been kind of hectic. Um, Always on that crazy train, right? Never know. Surprises happen. I had sepsis. I think I got on line here and told that to you guys. Um, it had taken me a couple weeks to just even start feeling better. I'm still kind of tired. I don't know if it's from sepsis or just I don't know what the progression of my liver disease is right now. I need to get my labs done again and have that checked out. Went to the hospital yesterday for a scheduled endoscopy. So they did put I don't like this. They put me under, so you are asleep. They put a scope in my mouth and they looked at my varices or my veins in my throat, and then they went down into my stomach. They did find some that showed signs of bleeding, so they did put another band on, and then they're going to watch carefully. Some of the other ones up here are potentially hazard to start bleeding. So I'm a bleeder. We all know that. So that's one of the dangerous things with my case. Others don't have that, but unfortunately I do. Um, so we're going to keep an eye on that. I'm pretty sore. I'm going back to see the spinal doctor next Wednesday. Um, there's something wrong with my neck, and it's probably due to the osteoporosis. And when I had those, when I still have the fractured vertebrae, they're never going to completely heal, but I do have them. Um, I can't, for some reason, my arms, I think I'd mentioned this last time, my arms hurt. It's gotten way worse. My arms down to my elbows are really bad. My wrists are starting to hurt. It's starting to hurt to like flip my hands certain ways. Not all the time, but sometimes. It hurts. Like it'll make me scream if I turn my arm a certain way, like to reach behind and put my shirts on. You can ask Mike. It's like beyond painful. Um, I can't lift anything. It's everything hurts. My shoulders hurt, and then my neck starts to hurt. I feel like a bobblehead. Um, and they said that's normal. I'm like, okay. Um, so my neck hurts on the sides and then in back. It'll start going up into my head and then down the middle of my back. I can't stand for very long, and I can walk, but after a while it starts to hurt. So my neck, my arms, everything. So they're going to get to the bottom of it. I went to the osteoporosis doctor, and before that, I was at a different spine doctor, and that spine doctor said, no, it's not your shoulders, it's your neck, and you need to go see the no, she said it's your shoulders, but you need to go see the osteoporosis doctor. I can't do anything. Went to the osteoporosis doctor, and he was asking me a bunch of questions and had me do some things, and he already knew before I was doing them um, how it felt. He asked me sometimes, like, do you put one of your arms up behind your head when you sit down and kind of look up? And I said, yeah, how'd you know that? He goes, it's something to do with the nerves in your neck, and potentially your spinal cord. So he recommended me or referred me to a different spinal doctor in Plymouth. So I'll be going there on Wednesday. Hopefully they can do something for me. I'm supposed to be getting strong for my surgery, um, and I can't do anything. So it's just killing me, in more than one way. And I'll kind of segue into my liver transplant. So Mike and I had a call with um, the U of M, my transplant coordinator today. I had mentioned I got approved for a liver. I got the official paperwork last week. Um, with my case, it's not just cut and dry though. Because my MELD score, and we've talked about that, it tells you how sick you are. My MELD score kind of fluctuates. I mean, for a while, if it's above 20, you're getting sicker. At one point, my MELD score was at 32, and that's not good. And I was very sick. Um, then it went down to 13, which is awesome because then I qualified for a living donor liver. So if your MELD score is too high, they won't allow that. But they will put you on the deceased donor list, which, you know, some of you may know it who knows when you'll get a liver with a deceased donor. And either way, you're waiting. So with how it works with the living donor, um, people do go to the U of M just because they want to donate part of their liver, for whatever reason. There's lots of reasons why they feel they want to do that. Maybe they had a family member who went through it, or, they have other feelings around it as far as, um, helping other people, and you can't take that liver with you when you die. And if you can grow a new one, heck, I want to help somebody, right? Um, so I potentially could get someone else's liver that way. Um, that would be nice because we can schedule it out, hopefully. But for some reason, I was told that some people like to get it done at like 2 o'clock in the morning. So we'll see. I do have someone that I went to school with that some of you may know, and I won't mention him just yet, but he graciously has probably given me the gift of life. I didn't ask him. I he he wants to do something for me, um, and he's going through the process of getting tested. Um, and he's actually making it pretty far. So we're praying that that works because then we can get scheduled. Um, and we'll talk about that later. And you guys can just guess. You'll never guess who it is unless you know. So either way, I'm kind of waiting. So as of right now, I was told to pack a bag, because if they find a deceased donor match, and she said likely, they have to test my blood yet and see where my MELD score is. If it comes up over 20, I'm more likely to get a liver just because of the other problems I've had going through this that you guys know about. I have a high risk of bleeding, which is not good, and very dangerous. So that would kind of put me up there a little bit at high risk. I could get a call and it's go time. Then I have to pack a bag, call Mike, get to the hospital. Obviously, I would tell them I'll be there in an hour or two or whatever, but I was told to pack a bag. But hopefully the living donor thing would work. I'd prefer that, just because I've read It's better to get a live donor, um, because the deceased donors, they do a very very good job of checking into the history of the deceased person. So, for example, the example they used was, today on the call with Mike and I. They said you could get a donor who's on life support, and the family members decided that they're going to donate that person's organs. So they would take that person and they would, actually look at their liver. Like, they would cut them open and look at their liver, do their tests, their blood tests, look at their history. Believe it or not, they get, this would open up wider for me to get a liver, obviously. But she said you can get a 20-year-old who maybe had a drug problem. Um, who cares? Their liver is probably okay, right? Um, you could get a person who has Hep C. There is a potential that you can get it, but it's treatable if you actually get it. They wouldn't recommend, getting a liver from someone who had a cardiac arrest or heart problems, because then you're dealing with having to put stents in yourself. And it's just, she said, I wouldn't recommend that, but it's your choice. So they do a thorough job of testing everybody and looking at their history and getting to know them quick in a fast way. Um, and they actually look at their liver, as well. So they would invite me to take, they would obviously talk to me about it, and let me decide what I wanted to do. I could wait for another liver if I wanted to. Um, so that's kind of where we're at with that. I did get a new PCA starting today, and she's wonderful. Um, it's she's gonna work out better than the other one. She is actually 9 minutes away from me, um, whereas the previous one was pretty far for her to drive, so it just wasn't working out. And she actually wants more hours. She's going to school to be a nurse. Um, PCAs don't do as much as a nurse or a caregiver, per se. Um, or like an aide if you're in the hospital. But she's here to give me company, help me with some things. Like right now, I would need help getting my jacket on and off or my shirt on and off. Um, if I need help carrying something, she might help me make lunch or dinner or breakfast. Go for walks. I would absolutely want her with me right now, just because, of my situation. I I'm kind of scared to be by myself. That last time when I ended up with sepsis, it scared me that I could get dressed, unlock my door, and leave the building and get in a car and not know. That is very scary. I mean, what if I went out and stood in the middle of the road at night, or I went on the tracks, which are right behind our house here, or got in someone else's car for that matter? So that scared me a lot. That knowing that I am capable of doing that, because I've never done that before. When I go into my coma states, the hepatic, encephalopathy. So look it up if you're not familiar with that. So I'll leave it at that. If there's any other questions or things I'm missing, please let me know. Um, I know I'm going to get some painting pictures on here for you guys. I just haven't been able to do much. I can't stand for very long, and it hurts to use my arms. So I'm going to try to do something small today. I did do my first painting, and I did post that on Facebook, but, um, I'll share that with you guys. It's actually pretty cool. It's almost like a tree of life, if you want to call it that. Um, so I wanted to take a few minutes because I sporadically I'll start to get questions. It's weird. It'll get quiet and then all of a sudden somebody will come around the corner or out of the closet, and they've been watching my channel or keeping track of what's going on, and I didn't know. And then I'll get questions, which is pretty cool, um, because that means they care. And obviously they have someone in their life, or maybe it's themselves, and they're truly thinking about um, making a change, and they don't want to end up like me. If you haven't watched all of my videos, please watch them. I am going to post pictures separately of yesterday's endoscopy. It's the first time I was ever given actual pictures from the camera, and it's kind of cool. There's nothing gross on there. There's no food in my throat, or nothing. No blood. It's just kind of cool to look at it and see what they see. So I'll post those for you guys to let you know what it looks like. Sorry, somebody's texting me and I don't know who it is. So I want to, I did this over a year ago. I kind of talked about my situation and how I got here with the liver disease. And I want to speak more towards change and the patterns that we do, and telling yourself I'm not going to drink. I'm not going to stop at the liquor store after work, but you do it. And you go home, probably don't feel bad about it. You're like, I'm okay. This is what I did. The doctors told me I was not okay, but they didn't tell me initially when I found out I had this. They didn't cover like what's going to happen to you or how dangerous it was. I was told, oh, cut back on your drinking. I should have stopped. I tried cutting back and I just ended up back in the same place. It's a habit, and I want to say it started years ago. I won't go into details about that. You can watch my initial videos, and I speak to a lot of my situation that had been going on for 20 years of my life, and I attribute my disease with that situation. But I'm in a good place right now. I was talking to my son, and some of you who I went to school with or on my Facebook know a few years ago he was in treatment, but he had overdosed, and people were praying for him, and his sister did do a GoFundMe for him. I found him at home. He had overdosed on heroin. I was talking to him the other night, and he's been doing great. He's gone to treatment, but bam, he's drinking, right? And he sees me in the, he's been, my family's been going through this with me. They see the good, the bad, and the ugly. And it's pretty bad when it's bad. And I feel sorry for that. But, I said, I'm not going to preach to you anymore. I said, I'm not going to push it on you, but I want you to really think about change. It seems like there's a repetitive pattern here. And I said, for me, example, I knew I needed to stop drinking. And I would continue, and I would go to the liquor store. I had a routine down. Like, I knew what I was going to do. And I wasn't drinking beer. I was drinking the hard shit. and that's what he's doing. Um, he went back to treatment about a month ago, though, voluntarily. So that's a good thing. But now he's out and he's not in a good place. And I can only do so much given my situation. And I've lived through his before, but I'm always here for him. But I'm not going to push it on him because he knows what he needs to do. Um, I said, look at me. I had that routine down, during the week. And then every Friday, I knew I was going to go up to the River's Bend, the bar. I was going to see my friends and I was going to drink. And then on my way home, I would stop and get vodka and then go home. And then I would still drink and have drinks all night. I'm getting a lot of questions like, how do you know something's wrong? I had a Halloween party here a couple of Saturdays ago, and someone very close to me had voiced concerns about their sibling and their sibling's wife that have a drinking problem. This person has spoke to me about it before, but they are choosing to continue down this path together, and that's not good. Somebody needs to put their foot down and make a change. From what I know, I said, so tell me a little bit, about her and what's going on. And well, she's lost a lot of weight. Right then and there, she drinks a lot and she's losing weight. So that happened to me, but it happened to me over years of drinking. And then I think COVID came and I went on a bender and I was drinking like a pirate. I just wasn't drinking rum. So losing weight comes with alcoholism. Initially, because when you are drinking, you don't eat. You don't need to eat. You just have a drink. So if you know somebody who has suddenly dropped in weight, their pants are falling off and they're getting super skinny, and you know for a fact that they always have a drink in their hand and they're a heavy drinker, there's a problem. Okay, that's the start of it. um I mean, there's other things too, but once you get a little bit further into it, you're gonna have other things happen. Your stomach might get extended because you have ascites. Um, Ascites is, so a person with a good liver actually cleans out all the bad toxins and stuff that your body produces. My body doesn't, because my liver doesn't work from drinking. It's hard. It's not porous. So like your your liver is supposed to flush and have the bad stuff go through it. Mine is so scarred that it's hard on the outside and nothing can go in, nothing can go out of it. So it retains all that poison and ammonia. We all have ammonia in us, but your liver gets rid of that. Mine doesn't. So what happens is your body starts to build up a fluid inside your stomach. It's called ascites. It's the buildup of stuff that your liver is supposed to get rid of. I went to the ER back it was December 20th, 2020, because my belly wasn't feeling right. I was taking laxatives, gas pills, changing the way I ate. Nothing was helping. I went to the ER one day and the liver team came in. They obviously had done blood tests and stuff, and they kept me overnight, a couple nights. And the liver team came in and they said, well, your liver isn't showing signs of cirrhosis. There is a little bit of scarring. So you probably want to cut back on your drinking. Okay. So eventually you'll get to the point where your body is completely not getting rid of that ascites fluid, and you will need to go to the hospital. I was going every week, or the clinic. Up here, we go to the hospital to radiology, and I have videos on my Facebook showing what happens and what's in those bottles when they drain my stomach. Um, they physically put a needle, a 5-incher in you, in your stomach. They're nice enough to give you some lidocaine and try and go slow. Once that needle's in, they hook up the tube, pull the needle out, and then you're hooked up to a machine, and you can watch it come out of your stomach. I have that video also if you haven't seen it. It's yellowish in color. It's not clear. But it is the toxins that your normal liver gets rid of. Mine doesn't, so they have to drain it. Started out kind of small. They measure it by liters. So I think the most I had the last time, I've had a couple cents and they were smaller. Now I don't have to for some dumb reason. It just stopped after I almost died from internal bleeding. I haven't had to have it. Like I was completely like feeling great, but the most I had was 8.5 liters. So if you go online and Google how much does 8.5 liters weigh, that's a lot. I was like having a baby every week and then getting pregnant again. And then the next week having another baby. It's hard on your body. I was to the point where I couldn't walk. When I went to the clinic to get my stomach drained, I had to take a wheelchair. So you're going to get signs, shaking, forgetting things initially, and you don't think anything's wrong. Some of us do forget things just naturally because you don't pay attention or whatever, but this is like forgetting. Like I just said something and I forgot I said it, or someone said something and I forgot they said it, or I bring something up and start talking about it, and somebody will say, yeah, we just talked about that. I'm not as bad as what I used to be. I couldn't write initially when I was first diagnosed. I noticed that my handwriting was changing and I couldn't write. I was getting severe anxiety too. Like my handwriting changed. I have beautiful handwriting. I started writing really tiny, and I couldn't spell words. I went in to trade a vehicle once, and I had to. This was after my divorce. I went in to trade a vehicle, and I couldn't fill out the form, and she had to do it for me. I was so embarrassed, and I couldn't understand what was going on. Like until about maybe 6 months ago, my handwriting was still kind of messy. I was misspelling things. I couldn't even I put my birth date down wrong. Like it was incredible. It was bad. Right now, I still misspell things, or I'll have to double check things like 6 times to make sure I did it. Typing, texting. Sometimes I'll misspell stuff and I'm just like, screw it, because I go back to redo it over and over again and I can't get it right. I won't tell the story today, but I can tell you a horror story about calls I was making when I had that hepatic encephalopathy in the hospital, and I don't know I made them. I thought people were throwing a party for me. Um, I, it's just crazy shit. I did get lost. I started getting lost going home from work, and that's when I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I was messing up at work, missing days at work, oversleeping. Those are big signs. Some people might job hop a lot because they do get terminated, or um, they're not showing up for work. They're drinking, they're oversleeping, and they're not making it in. Hopefully, you're not drinking at work. I never did that. Um, but I've seen that too. I've seen a lot of people that drink at work, unfortunately. That's not good. Um, I got lost. I started getting lost. I think I got lost 4 times going home. And I ended up once way the hell over in Viking Boulevard. Um, I don't even know how I did it. I had to pull over and MapQuest my address because I didn't know where I was going. Um, so there's things like that. Um, just denial, not wanting to get help. My kids were always telling me, Mom, you're not our mom anymore. Why don't you care about us? You won't quit drinking. Well, it's not that I don't care about them. I had a problem. Um, that was my way to deal with some things going on in my life. I know I said I wasn't going to talk about it right now, but I will at another time. Um, a scapegoat, I guess, but you, you, if you're trapped, I don't even know how to explain it. We'll talk about that another time. But I encourage you, if you know someone that you potentially think is headed down this road, they will die. If they don't get help, they will die. I've seen it. I've been in the hospital and I've seen people in there because they're dying from cirrhosis. They won't get help. I can't tell you how many bodies I've seen wheeled out of the hospital rooms. It's happening a lot with younger people too. I've seen that a lot. Binge drinking. They go out, they binge drink, and they could only take a year of binge drinking or drinking, and that kid is going to die. I've seen that too. So because they're doing it behind their parents' back, or their parents have tried, no luck of getting help for them. There are options out there, especially if they're a minor. But it's different when you have an adult child. And I've been there. Like I said, some of you may remember my son overdosing, and I found him almost dead. He thought he was dead. I think he thought he was dead because he said, "Oh, is this what it's like?" And I had already found him dead once before when he was blue. Thankfully, we're close to the hospital, and they typically have those pens on them, the officers, when they arrive. Once they didn't, so I was freaking out. But that last time I found him, he ended up with an injury that put him in the hospital for a long time. So if you know someone, please encourage them to watch this somehow. Start watching it, and they'll say, "What are you watching?" Get them to watch it. Don't even ask them. Just start watching it. Um, you know, I know someone who their entire family has watched it, and they continue to watch it. And I have a lot of people in other countries, actually, I don't even know how, that are watching this, and people praying for me. But I know someone has refuses to watch it, and they continue to drink. It's like they're in denial, or they don't want to face the fact. They don't want to face the fact that they know they have a problem. And I know this person, and it hurts me. I'm scared for them, very scared. Um, I'm one of the lucky ones. I will tell you that. And I'll be even luckier if I get my liver soon. So, with that being said, please reach out to me if you're unsure, if someone um, maybe needs help. You know, there's different ways to get them help, or to talk to them, and encourage them, or I'd like to hear your story. I've listened to other people with similar situations, and I learn something new every day. I honestly do. Um, and when I go to the hospital, I learn a lot there also. The nurses know me pretty much now. I've been there probably a good 40 times this year. Um, and they know me by name. Hey, Car, you're back. Yeah. So, anyway, I'm stuck in bed right now. I'm going to try and get up and go for a walk and go get the mail because my PCA is gone for the day today. But I love you guys, and thank you for the prayers. I do get them every day. And I do believe that prayer is more powerful in numbers. And I believe it more now more than ever. And I feel God with me, and I know that He doesn't want me right now. So thank you, everyone. And I'll post those pictures. You don't have to look at them, but like I said, it's not gory. There's no blood or anything. It's just pictures of like my throat. And I don't know if my stomach's in there. Maybe. There's only like 6 pictures they took, but I thought it was kind of cool because they've never done that before. So you guys have a wonderful day. I look forward to hearing from some of you, or your friends, or your family members, and I will talk at you later. Bye-bye.